So we have actually already done distribution. Distribution, if you will recall, is when you have something on the outside of a parentheses and you have other things on the inside of the parentheses, and you distribute that multiplication. So you would say 3 times 2x plus 3 times 3. And here you would get something like 6x plus 9. That is distribution. A number on the outside, and then a parentheses and stuff on the inside. And so now what we're going to do is we are going to do two parentheses. We are going to do the method called FOIL. And what it basically is repeated distribution. So foiling takes the first thing in the first binomial and distributes it through to the second binomial. Then it takes the second one in the first binomial and distributes it through to the second binomial. And you get this kind of format that happens. And so this method is actually called FOIL. It's just an acronym to help you remember what you do. It stands for first, outer, inner, last. The first thing you do is you multiply the first terms, first from each group. Then you multiply the outer terms from each group. Then you multiply the inner terms from each group. Then you multiply the last terms from each group. Once you've done that, you're going to combine any like terms that you have. Make sure it is in standard form, and then you are done. First, outer, inner, last. All right, so we have this. We have x plus 2, and we are multiplying it by x plus 6. So our first terms are x times x. So this would be my first term. My outer terms, that would be x times 6. And you're going to use whatever it is. This is going to be a positive times a positive. So positive x times 6. Inner terms, that's going to be positive 2 times positive x. So a positive 2 times x. And then our last terms, that's going to be a positive 2 times a positive 6. All right? First, outer, inner, last. And of course, you would simplify those. You don't necessarily have to write this line out. I'm just showing you how it works. When I simplify that, what is x times x? X squared. Remember, you add those exponents, so x squared. X times 6, how do I write that? 6x. 2 times x, how do I write that? 2x, and then 2 times 6 is... Am I done, you think? Why not? I have like terms. What are my like terms? Yeah, the 6x and the 2x. These are like terms. This doesn't have anything in common. It is going to stay the same, x squared. I have 6x plus 2x. How many x's do I have? 8x, and then this does not have anything to combine, so it also stays the same. That's going to be 12. We're going to do this a couple of times. All right, so when I do this one, first terms, y times 4y. First terms, that's going to give me my 4y squared. Outer, y times negative 9. Positive times a negative is negative 9y. Inner terms, 6 times 4. That's 24y. And last terms, 6 times negative 9. Positive times a negative is negative 54. Combine your like terms, make sure it is standard form, and then you are done. All right. So once again, I'm going to say, first terms, 3a times a gives me this. Outer terms, 3a times 3. Inner terms, negative 5 times a. Last term, negative 5 times 3. Combine your like terms, make sure it is in standard form, and then you are done. All right? right, example 4 on page 386. We have 2x minus 5 quantity squared. 2x minus 5 quantity squared. What does it mean to square something? Like if I said 3 squared, what do I mean? Multiply it by itself, which is exactly what this means, all right? So this means you're going to take 2x minus 5, and you're going to multiply it by 2x minus 5. Okay? And so you can use the FOIL method here. I'm actually going to show you. So, FOIL it. First, outer, inner, last. First, that's just going to be the 2x times the 2x. What's 2x times 2x? That's 4x squared. Outer, 2x times negative 5. Negative 10x. What do you notice about this guy? Negative 5 times positive 2x. That will always happen when you square a binomial, by the way. When you square something like this, your outer and inner term will be the same. All right, and what about the last one? Negative 5 times negative 5. That's positive 10. Positive 10. No, positive 25. Wait, we said 10. All right. All right. Can this combine with anything? What about these guys? Always, yeah. But for this one, it will always do that. What about this one? All right. This is a squared. All right, so this guy will always be this guy squared, by the way. 2x squared is 4x squared. This guy will always be this last guy squared. 5 squared is 25. And that middle term will always be the product of the two doubled, by the way, which we're going to do that later on. All right, so let's look at this. You should have done negative 7g minus 10 times negative 7g minus 10. My first terms, negative 7 times negative 7 gives me what? Positive 49g squared. What is negative 7 times negative 10? Positive 70g, right? Then I have this. All right, that's also going to be positive 70g. Remember, when you have something like this, your outer and inner terms will be the same thing, all right? They will be the same positive, negative as well, okay? And then my last terms, negative 10 times negative 10, positive 100, yes? All right, can this combine with anything? No, 49g squared. What happens here? 140g. All right, what's the last one? Can he combine? No, he cannot combine. A rectangular swimming pool has sides that are in the ratio of 3 to 2. If the pool is surrounded by a 5-foot wide concrete walkway, write a polynomial expression for the total area of the pool and the walkway. And they have given us, and I would actually not give it to you in ratio form. I would actually give it to you where it looked like this, all right? Basically what they're saying is we have the inner and the outer. So if I were to take this 3x here, which is the inner, the area of this would be 3x times 2x, right? The area of a rectangle is base times height. Yes? All right? So that means if I want to find the area of the whole thing, I have to do this base times this height. Well, I have this 3x, but I have these two 5s right here. So this is where they get the 3x plus 10. Everybody see that? And then I have this 2x here, but I have these two 5s. So that's how they get the 2x plus 10. And they want a formula that gives me the area of this particular pool if I have just the x piece of it. Just the x piece of it. So in order to find the area, the base times the height is what I need to do. Base times height, 3x plus 10 times 2x plus 10. That's base times height. And I want to make this a little more simpler than that, so I'm going to distribute here and do foiling. 3x times 2x gives me what? 6x squared. 3x times 10. 30x. 10 times 2x. 20x. 10 times 10. Plus 100. One more step here. I need to combine my like terms. 6x squared cannot combine. 30x and 20x are. And then 100 does not combine. The length of a soccer field is 40 yards longer than its width. There's a 5-yard wide grass border around the entire field. Write a polynomial expression for the total area of the field and the grass border. So we have this soccer field here, right? We have this grass border that goes around it. Let's move him up a little because that doesn't look like it's even. All right. They've given us a little bit of information about the soccer field. We do not know the width, right? We actually don't know the length either, but what do we know about the length? The length is 40 yards longer. How do I write that compared to the width? Width plus 40. Easy enough, right? They also said there's a 5-yard wide grass border. So that means this is going to be 5, right? All the way around we have this 5, right? So what happens? What happens is this width has this 5 and this 5 to worry about, right? So the width of the whole thing is going to be what? W plus 10, right? This length has this 5 and this 5. So I have a length that is going to be W plus 40 plus another 10, right? So I have W plus 50. Does everybody see that? All right. And so then if they want me to actually write an expression, it's going to be the length times the, which looks like that. So does everybody see how I set it up? So you want to interpret what they told you. If you have to draw a picture, draw a picture, all right? Label width and length, and then say, oh, well, the length is 40 more than the width. That's W plus 40, all right? And then from here, we're just distributing. We're just doing our foiling method at this point. What is W times W? W squared. What is W times 10? Yep, inner term is going to be what? And then what's my last term going to be? 500. And then just like everything else, I'm going to standard form. Write at highest to lowest, combine like terms, and then I am done. Any questions on that?